Hello everybody and welcome to True North Audio. I am Kiko. Today I'm going to be showing you the making of process and a little bit of a short walkthrough of our latest sample set, the keg, which is actually 2 kegs and a 55-gallon drum. So earlier in the year, my band was challenged with the task of writing a song, and we chose to write it reminiscent of the style of Slipknot. That's a song you actually heard in the intro there, and you probably can hear going on quietly in the background here, at least the instrumental version. That song gave us the need for a keg, and we ended up kind of running into the problem that there wasn't any kegs. We weren't finding much of anything. There weren't any instruments. You know, you'd find like somebody gave away a few one-shots, but they weren't really working. The download wasn't really working or whatever, you know. So I ended up getting together with my buddies TJ and Vasily at Peak Divide, and we decided to make our own keg and really deep sample it. And so we got 6 round robin groups of, at the current moment, 4 mics. Technically 5 as one is a matched pair, but we originally started out with the plan of 10 mics, and 2 of them were not handling the noise well. 2 more were also not handling the noise well, and one of them was giving us some inconsistent clipping. That's the contact mic you're going to see later in the video. Unfortunately, it just didn't quite make the cut. So this was kind of an exercise in what you set out to do is not always going to be what you actually end up with in the final product. But I am still very excited about the final product. So you'll see up on the screen, I've got the Contact and Decent Sampler version of the instrument, Decent Sampler being free. So if you don't own Contact and you do need the full version of Contact, you can use the Decent Sampler version. The Contact version doesn't really have much more than the Decent Sampler other than these handy mute and solo buttons and the phase flip. You can kind of do that either way, just using the sliders, controlling how much of one or the other you get, but it is convenient to be able to just mute and solo quickly instead of having to mess around with the faders. But you still have all the options. And then on Contact you have a second tab, and that's just all the hits, all the articulations laid out on their keys. So you have kind of a legend, which if you buy it, you have a little text document which still gives you the legend, so you don't need the Contact version. It's just handy to have. There were a lot of little things I wanted to add in, but honestly, we had 2 days of recording, 1 day of setup, 1 day of the actual recording, and ended up with a lot of time spent on editing and quite the crunch on the actual Contact instrument. I spent 20 hours trying to figure out the one-shot issue because the normal method I have wasn't working for whatever reason. So without further ado, gonna kind of play around with a couple little sounds, just show you what you got going on. I'm gonna give you the natural sound, and then I'm just gonna drop in ROM, which is one of my personal favorite reverbs from Native Instruments, just a good, spacey, cool sounding kind of reverb. So first things first, I'll just kind of play around on the bottom end. We got these, the little keg, we got some kind of brighter sound, really simple. I really like the sound of like the hammer and the bat. But I think that the sticks give it a little bit of a good kind of short, quick articulation. Move into the bigger keg. Get a little bit of the 55-gallon drum there. I like that rim shot with the baseball bat. It's a little bit shorter, a little bit tighter. But if you got the bat on the side, you get that like natural ring. And of course, anyone who's a fan of Slipknot, that's what you got it for, you know? That's that bat on the side of the keg sound that... A personal favorite of mine is actually the rubber hammer. It's almost like a bell sound. It's a little bit duller. It's a little bit thuddier. Going up onto the 55-gallon drum. That's a baseball bat kind of on the rim there that, like, again, very short, very abrupt, very quick. But you got that kind of wider sound. The chain is a little bit looser sound. You can play around with that if you want something with a little bit more drag, a little bit more rattle. The rubber hammer if you want that thud. I like the drumstick. I find that's actually very articulate. So you got 4 mics. Walking through quickly, we've got this mid mic. That's just a shotgun mic that's just right there on the front. It's still at a little bit of a distance, so you still have some of the room, but it's mostly focused. Add in this side mic. You can adjust them to taste. That widens up the sound. That's a lot more of the room. Listen to it by itself. You can hear more of the room than you do in the mid. This stereo pair is a pair of Rode NT1s. These were sitting behind. They're a little bit wider. They got that weird stereo field. It kind of floats back and forth between either side. And if you take it out of the mix entirely, then you get a little bit more of a mono sound. Just right up the front. Put it in, you get more of that stereo. And then you have this closet mic, which is quite at a distance and actually technically in another room, and you'll see that in the making of video later. This is the reference mic that I used. And of course, if you want to get a little bit more of that punch, a little bit more of that edge, put in ROM. Get that huge open space. You can get that kind of creepy, weird, a little bit of that kind of like ticking, that sound design kind of thing. A little bit more of those booms. Again, with the chain, you get a little bit more of that rattle. So there's a lot you can do with these. I designed them to be pretty deep and pretty dynamic. And there's also a free version, the Lite Keg, which is all the same mics. It's all the same articulations on just the small keg and one round robin. It's just some basic one-shots and stuff. And the way it's laid out, if you buy the full version, the sample folder is just left open. So if you want to go through, you can just pull one-shots out of that and use those how you like as well. Obviously, as long as you're not redistributing them, you're pretty free to do whatever you want with them. So without any further ado, let's get into the making of.
All right, so Kiko, explain to us, what is this?
All right, so we got all of our, well, all the ones we're recording. Toby's on his own. We got the big keg, we got a little keg, which you still need to get the top out of. A little bit in the bottom we want to drain out. We got this honking beast.
What are
Hockey pucks we're going to decouple this with. We're just going to kind of set it up and let it ring out. We don't really have anything to drill big holes in it. We don't really have anything to suspend it from, so it just kind of makes sense to set it up on its own little pucks.
Right.
But these two guys, we're going to be bungeeing up to this little bike rack here. Just get these all suspended and hanging right in there.
Give them a smack.
Yeah.
Right.
So we were playing around with this earlier. We're just kind of beating on it a little bit and getting an idea of kind of where it starts to kind of sing in this room. But as you can probably hear in my voice, there's a lot of good,
nice echoey in here.
Space.
But not a bad kind of echo, it's just spacey.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to get working on this. And then said you were going to put a room mic here and then one down out here.
Yes.
You've worked in this room before.
Yeah, so we're filming some drums in here, so room mic here, room mic there, kind of got the medium and the far.
Yeah, we might even try a hall mic in the
Ooh,
the utility or something like that, maybe.
that's a really good idea. I didn't even consider that.
Yeah, so a lot of, and then of course we got contact mics.
Yes.
It's real cool. We're gonna get those guys stuck in on one side or the other.
It's actually in this pocket. So right here, and then this is magnetic. Are those steel?
These ones I think are. Let's find out.
Let's find out, because that should have a magnet on it.
It's the magnet on top here.
Yep, that's aluminum probably.
It's gripping, but it's not holding.
It might be aluminum outside, steel inside, or something.
Yes. Basically,
Try this, like right here. Okay, we also have a suction cup we can use. So
yeah,
and that we'll just
that's no problem at all.
stick right on.
Right, a nice sound to that too.
That's going to sound amazing on that.
I'm really excited. So yeah, you were saying these pick up a lot of the low end frequency and stuff, and
precisely, yes.
Yeah, so especially with this guy. I mean, this guy's gonna be the low end. That's gonna be like
the bassy boy.
Yeah. But even this one I'm really excited about. The whole idea just started like any metal kid in the world knows Slipknot. You see Clown in a studio beating on one of these dudes with a giant baseball bat. So
yeah,
gotta get the bat. That's one of the.
Yeah.
It turns out these were easier to find in the back.
True story.
Just go to the
Thrift store.
Apparently they had everything but.
Yeah.
Got croquet mallets. No, not that. So yeah, I mean we didn't really have much luck with that. I still have to grab. Might just have to grab one at Walmart. It looks like. Glow in the dark white gaff tape so we can mark everything, know where it's gonna live for the future.
Yep.
And I got all kinds of things to smack it up with.
What is that right there?
So this one's a gong mallet. This one came with a gong that I picked up at a thrift store a few years ago.
Ooh, nice.
Big thumpy boy.
That'll resonate a lot better without the stuff on it.
Yeah, I got just a ton of different kinds of drumsticks in here. I got marching sticks, and I don't think we're going to use these. I think they might just be a little too much.
Yeah, I mean, they'll have a good transient.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking I'm probably going to go with these SD2s. These are one of my favorite marching sticks. You got that you got that light tap from the smaller beat on the end, but you got some real mean noise out of the shoulder of the stick there too.
Right on.
It's like the perfect balance for me. I used to play these all the time.
Yeah.
You can tell I've worn that bead flat.
Yeah, that's definitely like a plastic or something.
How much
So
it's gonna yeah.
they'll have a different characteristic for sure.
So we got these rubber mallets here. We're probably not going to use the yarn ones.
Xylophones.
We'll see. We'll play around with them a little bit, but got the rubber xylophone mallets.
Those are great.
Yeah, I really like the sound of those. I'm really excited to play with those.
That's going to be really fun to pitch in post.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about doing a pitched version as well. And then, of course, you got the timpanis.
Nice and soft.
Yeah. And I was thinking, the difference between the timpani and the yarn I was finding was kind of it almost felt like it was more of a difference in the transient itself. You know?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's standing out enough to do multiple round robins when you could probably just shape the sound of it a little bit. Or just combine those with the rubber mallets. I really like the sound of that type of percussion too. And that's we're deep sampling everything. We're doing everything from that. And then one of the real fun, we're gonna start getting mean with it. Beast.
Chain. Very metal.
It's gonna be a fight.
Yeah, don't hit it yet. We're not wearing hearing protection. That's going to be loud as shit.
It'll clip the phone.
Wires everywhere, and you just got this metal.
This
thing.
is where the photos are happening for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is the contact background.
Here, we're gonna get the filming light and just really dramatic, one light source, super high. Yeah, super high contrast. It's gonna be nice. Now, I'm very much looking forward to these spaces. It's gonna be a lot of work. But it's gonna be worth it.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm not fearing it. But
Heck yeah.
let's go pick up some supplies.
Let's do it. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a couple good, just really hard hits up and down with the stick here. Give it a couple wallops with the mallet to see if it's kind of giving you a little bit of a wall underneath there. Then we can try it over there, and then if we want, we can try it all the way over on the end of the room and see if that sounding good. So I think it's like you're saying, this thing has got that room. You can hear everything. That's one of the reasons I love it. And I think that we can get an idea of kind of what part of the room sounds good. But you were saying when we did the first test, it was sounding good here. But we got the foam under it now because it was you were hearing the metal moving around here when we were walloping on this guy.
Yeah, we kind of secure or isolate it.
Yeah, I got to kind of decouple it a little bit.
Yeah,
which not the end of the world. I think that this one's going to be one of those really good ones. I love this thing. Like I said, I use it on kick drum all the time, so I think that in this space, it's going to really give us that sound we're looking for. I was sitting here while you were setting up, just
I want to hit.
Percussion must smash.
Chico smash.
Oh man, we gotta do it.
But yeah,
let's clip that mic, huh?
Yep, let's clip the fuck out of it.
I just.
Well, you don't want to do a DMC and have my Detroit Metal City. All right, it's time to find out what makes the most noise. We got to set our mics to the loudest source. Let's get crazy. Okay.
actually as loud as the drumsticks, funnily enough.
Huh. We'll try that then too to see if that works.
Okay, for Shane.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah. That would have made your ears fucking ring. What's up?
Probably want about the same difference.
Oh, yes. So we don't have to move mics every, like,
Yeah.
3 seconds. Rough estimate. Wait, we literally have a tape measure.
No, I was thinking like I could just
How much is that from, like,
measure it from the
it's like 10 inches?
10 inches.
Yeah,
Okay.
roughly.
So see what we got on this one. See, we got 10 inches.
Here's my mouth. So that's 10 inches right there.
Like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Luckily, again, this rope is pretty grippy.
Yeah. Don't only need one of those. There we go. Ooh, dusty.
Get one.
Okay. Not too tight so we can't undo it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be fine. I mean, it's a standard square knot. There's nothing special about it.
Yeah. True that.
I knew how to tie a Slipknot. I don't even know a Slipknot would actually do us any good, but
It'd be very thematically
exactly.
correct. We literally have a keg on a bike rack surrounded by microphones. What are we doing with our lives?
well, you should have seen us when we had the little little contact mic on the door.
Yeah, we put on the door of the car because it's too loud to put on the barrel.
I got a photo. You'll get that. I'll edit that in.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like it's cool how great the barrel sounds in the door of the car.
Yeah, it just like the whole car picks it up. It's kind of,
Audio's funny like that, you know?
yeah.
Tell you what though, that thing stinks.
Pretty stinky. We got some old ass beer. There's some
Got that beer smell.
got some late peed on the ground a little bit.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. All right. I think that's enough for today.
Yep.
All right.
We've just finished up a very long and exciting day of recording. We got a bunch of this stuff going on, huh? There's Slipknot. You can see a very, very productive day. So yeah, we're tearing down now. I thought before we tore down, just kind of show what we were up to. We got a bunch of mics all over the place. We got this dude over here. We've named him Jeff. This is Jeff. Jeff has a little contact mic, just kind of magnetically grabbed onto the door here. He's picking up all these little low frequency noises and everything. So great little, just kind of oomph mic, especially a big mean 55-gallon drum we got in the other room right now. This guy ended up not making it in. It just is not handling the, what did we measure at? 118 decibels that we were getting out of some of these.
Yeah, DBAs.
Yeah, and this guy was supposed to be underneath and also was not handling the SPL very well, so we took it out. But we ended up with a lot of room space. I'm pretty cool with that. So starting off, we got a mid-side with your shotgun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, your shotgun. Your shotgun, my ST-159 here in figure 8 pattern. So we just got the sides here, mid here. This one's really focused. This one's pretty open. A pair of standard Rode ST1s. You know, can't go wrong with a Rode. You guys are always a classic. I will speak highly of Rode, and not just because they sent me that pod mic. But that does help. So over here is our kind of computer setup. It's getting a little bit torn down, but the Zoom F6 was handling about 4 of the channels. And then we had this guy handling some of the mics over there, and the Tascam, which is upside down, that's handling the NT1s here. So we got all these wired together, and they're running into my computer in an aggregate device. And you can see we got a little bit of a spaghetti mess going on here.
I think something like this in Nashville is probably like $3,000 a month.
Probably, right? Especially this garage. So we got this big old fat snake right here. We'll lead all the way to the other end of the room to these guys. And I don't think we determined what they were pronounced. Ushi?
Usi?
Ushi?
USIs?
Worcestershire. Yeah, the USI Pro. And these things are really cool, just like little tiny, just quick kind of small diaphragm condensers. These guys, by the way, super sensitive. Even from all the way over here, we had to run them into the ART because that was the only preamp that had enough headroom to handle all that. Right into this is our snake box. This is what gives us a chance to actually get all the mics on this side of the room all down there. And then in here, if I'm not gonna trip on that, we've got my SonarWorks measurement mic, because it also makes just a great omnidirectional room mic. And we've just kind of turned this room into like the very, very distant room. You can almost like, there's a delay, there's a reverb to it because of the space, but you can almost kind of put your own reverb on this one probably. We'll find out for sure when I actually get into the editing. You know, I got like a vague idea of how these sound from all the recording, but it'll be, once we really get it all put together, then I'll know how they sound in context. And then finally in here, we got our 55-gallon drum and what's left of the hockey pucks that are taped to the bottom. And once again, you can tell this guy is jacked. Going at it with the chain and the baseball bat and all that. This was in pristine condition we bought it, by the way.
Brand new.
Like brand new, yeah. It was ready to go, but now, it's looks a little bit more like you would expect a 55-gallon drum to look. So that's my day.